Welcome into our third edition of the Pick'em Show.
Number three,
Slobberknocker Sports Pick'em Show. And if you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. If you're coming over from our regular podcast, thanks for joining us this week, as we're going to break down all the games in the NFL, college football. After a wacky week, we had 7 outright upsets again in the NFL this week, 7 the week before. We did not do well in our picks this week, I have to say. Not on our bets were okay. Our bets did okay in terms of what we picked on the podcast. Did not do well. My dad went 4-10.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did, and we each went 6-8.
fake news.
We each went 6 and 8.
Fucking
Here,
fake.
I've got the records on the board.
That video he sent was a deep fake made in Russia.
No, I was high on Xanax.
What?
I was high on Xanax.
He was flying.
Because I had to go on a 5-hour flight between New York to L.A., then back, and I think, where else do I have to go? Cincinnati and back.
You didn't go anywhere.
Private jets.
You flew to San Diego once.
No, I flew to
Southwest Airlines.
No, I flew
and you were C-class boarding.
No, I didn't go to San Diego. Number one, I went to Hollywood. You're wrong. All right, we were
he had
Hollywood.
an aisle
at
wrong.
the Astor Hotel.
Wrong. Astor Hotel.
Astor Hotel, 5-star in Hollywood.
Listen,
on Vine.
Thank God we have our talent back this week. Huh?
Thank God.
I'll tell you what.
Boring as shit without
my
me.
God,
and
genius.
I've been banned from saying any shit, so I'm going to rethink this whole thing because I'm having my agent talk to me about whether I want to do it unless I can talk about the 5 subjects that I like, which I won't say today.
No, we can burp it. We can beep it.
No, I don't want to edit this.
All right, well, that's fine.
No.
All right,
Fair
I won't
enough.
talk about the 5 subjects.
I had to beep
The
our last
butt-sensitive subjects. Let's go.
You know what? We should come up with an acronym for all of them.
Yeah.
Like, so
I
it would
will.
Be,
I will.
Yeah.
I will. I'll let him do
out.
it later.
All right, we're going to get into the games, but I'll give you, since you haven't been on the show in a while, I'll let you give your, if you want,
quick take.
Go ahead.
Let's hear about
this
the
is a quick
Cowboys.
take.
Big Dog's
Number
taking
one
it.
is
Go
that
ahead.
I can see that I said there was an ancestral family, the Cowboys. You can't run an organization like that. We all know this is common stuff. Here's the funny thing. Them exploding and imploding this year is awesome because, number one, if Jerry's not going to leave the team to his kids, don't you think not?
I think he's going to sell it.
I think he's going to sell it. And I think basically he's going to sell it and maybe give them a share they can't be involved. They know he would be involved. Number two, they're embarrassing themselves. Can't get Mike Zimmer. He thought bringing in Zimmer was great because he can bring Zimmer in to replace McCarthy. McCarthy has nothing to do with them losing. They did the stats this morning because I watch all the Dallas Cowboys stuff. Dak had almost 0 yards in the first half, and the Baltimore Ravens 8 yards per average per play in the first half, 9 in the second half. So they did no defensive adjustments. Therefore, Mike Zimmer's out. He's not coming in. Jerry's move to bring Zimmer back in to replace McCarthy. This is a Dak problem, and fuck CeeDee Lamb. What a fuck CeeDee Lamb, whatever the fuck. CeeDee reminds me of my sheepdog with those dreads. Anyway, bottom line is,
they got a lot of quit in them. They go down 2 scores.
The guy starts whining. He gets his money. The last game against Green Bay, it showed up. Now he gets his money, starts whining like a child. He's
That's what
all
NFL
over.
receivers
And I love
do.
what Dak did. He went after him in a kind of a subliminal way in his press conference, and he went after him 3 times in that press conference about referring to CD, but not saying it, number one. So I'm saying the Cowboys, I don't even really, Dak played better not forcing the ball to Dez when he was trying to force it to Dez, and now to CD when he was forcing it to Dez.
Bryant.
Now to CD. So what I can say with that is Dak actually plays better diversifying his throwing, and I like that. I would like what happened. I look for an upset. The Giants are going to beat them on Thursday night, which I'm going to go ahead and predict.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. And this is going to be a super slide downhill. So we're going to watch a lot of things happen. Jerry Jones is finally on the hot seat. That's my first take. Second take, simple. Everyone's criticizing that because they know how much I like Caleb Williams. And they're saying, oh, my God,
bad.
he's horrible.
It's
He's
real bad.
horrible. I only watch with arm and accuracy. I see a game like
he's the worst accurate
from
quarterback in the league.
70,000 feet. I see the arm fly through the ball like Jared Goff. And I see the
up.
ball, and I see accuracy. So all they got to do, they're going to fire the coaching staff, bring in an offensive coordinator, a good offensive coordinator, and run the ball. It's that simple.
Can I respond?
The verdict is still out. But so far, I've been wrong about him. But verdict is still out. But wrong right now.
You said so far you've been wrong about him?
Well, I'm high right now.
Never heard you say
Fucking
that.
high as shit right now. So anyway,
Apparently.
The
yeah.
words, I am wrong have never come out of his
I was
mouth.
about to say, I've
I
been around
said
a long
I have
time.
a disclaimer that's going underneath this. I'm fucking high right now.
No, you're not.
Well, not right now, but I was.
Is this the news?
Well, you just said it now. You didn't say it earlier.
All right. So anyway, those are my 2 takes.
All right.
And don't give up. Don't ever give up on the Jared. Okay, that's my new referral.
Jared Goff's horrible.
The Jared.
Jared.
All right, that's done. We can do our picks.
By the way, I just want to make one comment. As Shane Waldron, the offensive coordinator for the Bears, he's the one who turned Geno Smith's whole career around in Seattle. Just so you know, he's the one. And so that's the guy. And you have all those weapons. And
Geno's playing great right now.
I mean, he's playing okay.
He's played incredible.
He had one touch. No, he didn't. He had one touchdown and 2 interceptions.
Well, I saw him throw the ball pretty accurate.
Big Dog saw the way he managed the game.
Yeah, he did really well.
Play well yesterday.
He's doing good.
Moving the ball down the field.
And Bo Nix is my other pick, and I think you should shut up about him.
Oh no, Turner, please.
Let's move on.
Listen, your dad.
And I don't want Sean Payton to do good.
Sean Payton saw Bo throw 14 throws, and he knew Big Dog saw him throw 3. Big Dog. That's the difference between Sean and Big Dog.
Right.
Big Dog only needs 3
passes.
How many touchdowns has Bo Nix thrown in 3 games?
That's smash.
0. How many
interceptions down the field?
How many interceptions? 4.
Doesn't matter.
Please.
Brett Favre had 25 his first season. Who
Brett
cares?
Favre also threw 5 touchdowns that season.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He threw an interception almost every 5 plays.
No, this is different.
Like Colin says, he threw more interceptions. People were like, "Oh, you can't play. He's horrible." Let's move on from interceptions, spinterceptions.
Well, Turner agrees with me. He says
interception, spinner.
Last week when we were
well,
on the
you'll
show,
see.
He said Bo Nix was the worst quarterback in the league.
Okay, we'll see.
Never said
that.
You said
I don't believe it. He was high. Let's move on. Let's move on.
We all know the rookie quarterbacks have been a disaster, except for our boy who we picked, Jaden Daniels. He's been the best quarterback.
I like Jaden Daniels. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never said anything against him.
Well, I said he should be the number 1 pick, so did Turner.
Yeah, he probably should have been, but it doesn't matter because Caleb's going to be fine.
Caleb's not going to be fine.
I'm going to paint my nails next week for Caleb.
You're not.
Yeah, I am. Let's go.
Okay.
And on those, you have a message for each of the things I'm banned from saying.
Oh, yeah, we can do each letter.
Let's go. I'll do my picks now.
Can we move on? Or?
No, I'm ready.
Okay. Let's get into the picks since this is a pick 'em show.
All right, let's go.
We'll go Thursday night. Dallas Cowboys traveling to New York. I don't think the Giants, I think it's like 8 straight the Cowboys have won over New York. It's something like that. It's like 4 or 5 straight seasons. Dayball's never beat the Cowboys.
Party over.
Cowboys are 4.5-point favorites.
They're going to fucking get their ass kicked that night. Go ahead.
You got Danny Dimes and the Giants?
Danny Dimes.
Dimes?
You saw him on my little message.
Dimes. I'm going to take the Cowboys.
There's no way the Cowboys lose this game. I'm sorry. I think the Cowboys.
I think there's a way.
Well, no. Okay,
their defense is horrible.
Look, I disagree with that. But look, last week, if the Giants lose that game to the Browns, then you could say, okay, maybe like 0-3 Giants coming in and nothing to lose. But the fact that they pulled an upset last week, they think they're a little bit better now. Dallas talk about the Ravens had their season on the line last week. The Cowboys season's on the line this week.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, you go 1-3, you're done. And Dak just got paid all that money. I think at least the one positive is I think he found, and I agree. We talked about this earlier. Yes, the
Turpin,
Ravens,
who I picked.
The Ravens put a shell defense, but I think Dak maybe he figured out a little bit about like going to other guys at the end of the game. Like he stopped going to CeeDee Lamb because he was whining.
Well,
maybe they'll figure that out.
That's because CeeDee Lamb stopped playing.
No, I agree, but I'm just saying.
Oh no,
late when they got close, CeeDee.
I like the fact that he sat down on the sideline like a little fucking baby. I love it. He sat down on the sideline. They said he sat on the sideline.
CeeDee?
Yes, fucking little baby, and I'm glad that Turpin scored those touchdowns. Let's move on.
So you took the Giants, correct?
Yes.
Okay. He's picked the Cowboys every week, despite saying we're horrible until this week. I'm giving him credit. He actually picked against them.
I just know that this week is the week that all shit happens. It goes down for Dallas.
Look, if they no,
okay, let's move on.
All right, Sunday games. Saints at the Falcons. Heartbreaking loss to the Falcons last night. They gave the game away. The Saints came back down to earth, although they probably should have won the game. Atlanta's favored in this game by 1.5.
I picked the Saints to beat the shit out of them.
Oh,
so
beating the shit out of them. I'm going to say the Falcons by a safety. Actually, no. Falcons by 1.
Falcons by 1?
Win is, of course, win, don't cover.
Win, no cover. No cover.
Falcons by 1.
This is real tough here. I mean, you're flipping a coin, basically. Falcons season on the line at home. You know what? I went away from my nature last week, which was to pick against Derek Carr, and I picked him, and he screwed me, so I'm going to go with the Falcons. So we've got Falcons for me and Turner, and then Dad goes with the Saints. Big Dog, goes with the Saints. Okay, Rams, here we go. Rams and my boy, Matthew Stafford. taking on the Chicago Bears and the Caleb Williams finger-painted nails led
Where?
Chicago Bears. It's in Chicago. 2.5. Chicago's favored by 2.5.
I'm picking the Chicago Bears to win that game.
Man, if the Bears are ever going to win a game, it should be this one. I'm going to give me the Rams. Kyron Williams running the ball. Offensive line's all hurt. Stafford can kind of do it with anybody. He's Rodgers-esque that way. Give me the Rams by a field goal.
Okay.
These games are such coin.
All of them
I don't
are
know.
tough, yep.
I don't know what to
It's
take.
the NFL.
And we're on Monday too. Like a lot of those picks we got there, and I'm like, I picked the Panthers to win that game, but I picked on the show. I picked the Raiders last week. So, give me the Rams. I can't pick on Caleb. So now we have each taken the same pick, and he's taken the opposite. So it could be disaster.
Well, Dylan, we're picking against a man that flies at 70,000 feet. How can you expect to beat him?
No Cessnas.
Cessnas up there.
Wait, should I put the standings back up?
No, I'm ahead.
please.
I was high.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is that? What about the first 2 weeks?
It was.
No, first 2 weeks I'm doing great.
He's like Shannon Sharp. He first said it was a deep fake video. Now he's just backtracking and saying it was a little high, but it was me.
All right, next one.
All right, this is a really good one. Vikings at the Packers in Green Bay. I'm taking the Packers here.
How about Big Dog's boy Malik Willis? He said he's been saying, right, Big Dog, for years, don't give up on him.
He's so bad.
Did I say? This is what I said last year.
Yeah,
so
so
just so
share it.
they'll know
So
how
people
fucking
know.
smart I really am.
Yeah.
I actually said I watched the guy play in college. Dylan pointed it out one time, and I watched him play. And I said he's got a inaccurate arm, but he could play in the NFL. Which he's like started laughing at me. You cannot play in the NFL. And then when he played for the Titans, he was horrendous. He was great in preseason. He was a top player in preseason, so you know that year. And it was horrible in the regular season. I stuck with him, and the motherfucker is now playing for leading the Packers. And who are they playing
he's not
again?
leading the Packers.
Oh, Jordan Love's back this week.
What?
Jordan Love is back this week.
Yeah, he is. But they beat the Colts and the Titans, the two worst teams in the league. That's
who are
who
they
he
playing
beat.
now?
They're playing the
Vikings
Vikings, but Willis is not going to play. It's Jordan Love.
And they're
don't
playing
know. It
where?
could be
Where
Willis.
are
we
they
don't know,
playing?
but the line says it's
Well,
gonna be
everybody's got
Jordan
to
Love.
pick both ways. So if Willis is playing,
Well,
I pick the Vikings.
Well, see, we said we can't do this.
Yeah, we're not doing this.
All right, okay, well then I'll just go with. Are they
Since
playing?
This is your fault. You
are
made
they-
this film on Monday.
Are they playing?
You gotta-
Thank you.
Are they playing in Green Bay?
Yes.
It's over. The Vikings are getting beat.
I actually think it. No, I agree.
I don't care who wins.
No, if there's
Who plays?
if we have a caveat, then yes, I agree. Like the Vikings win this game if Malik Willis plays. Plain and simple. But I will pick the Packers.
Man, I hate being all on the same side here, but I just think that this is a game the Vikings ultimately lose.
No
I'm
way to win this
gonna take the Packers,
Yeah.
and I pray I'm wrong. Hope the Vikings win.
Sam
did get rid of
Darnold.
the
Sam
Vikings.
Darnold will throw 2 picks. Go ahead.
Apparently, Sam Darnold. I was reading it said no structural damage to the leg. He must have hurt his leg.
I
or
didn't know
something.
he got hurt at all.
Yeah, 2
Yeah.
picks. 2 picks that game.
Well,
Okay, let's go.
if Malik Willis plays, they will lose that game.
Yeah,
No, they will
Darnold
not.
has
no, they will not.
Yeah, they will because
Darnold
they're
has
only.
no structural damage.
That's weird that he got hurt. I
To
didn't
me.
actually- No, yes, they will. Malik Willis is horrible. They literally played the 2 worst teams and the 2 worst defenses in the league. So no, he's not, and he didn't play
All right.
well.
Okay.
He just got schemed by
All
a
right.
good coach, and I hate Matt LaFleur, but he's done a heck of a job. God, I just can't tell you how bad Malik Willis is. Okay, the only guy who's worse is the guy in the
Started in the NFL.
The next, not
What a-
starting. He's
what
not
a
starting.
player.
He's a backup. He'll never be a starter.
He started. 2
Well, yeah, he
games.
started. So did Nathan
I
Peterman.
predicted. That's all I can say.
Nathan
Let's
Peterman
go.
has started
2
too.
throws.
Nathan
2 throws.
Nathan Peterman started too.
Let's go.
That's what you're bragging about. He played a whole game in
I just
5
cannot
throws.
not pick a person that doesn't come out of
Steelers
college
at
and
the
play in the pros.
Colts. Steelers 2-point favorites. I'm picking the Colts on an upset, and I like I said, I told you Anthony Richardson's not good. He's horrible.
Nah, the Steelers will win the game.
I'm taking the Colts here.
I get why you're taking the Colts, and looking at it and just thinking about it, I don't think the Colts are going to change up the game plan, and their defense can't stop the run at all. We saw that against Green Bay. I'm going to roll with the Steelers. I'm going to say TJ Watt has 3 sacks and a forced fumble.
I mean,
Maybe
you're
4.
probably right.
Maybe 4.
All right, next game.
And Richardson will throw at least 2 interceptions.
At least, that's a dead 100%.
At least 2.
Okay.
If you bet on him to throw over 1.5 interceptions every game, you'd win that. You're going to win that bet every single time this year.
Seems
the,
like
the
it.
2 picks he threw yesterday. We talked about this earlier on the show. He's the worst quarterback in the NFL. Like hands down, it's not close.
You got to start running. Got to start running.
Gotta start running.
Got to use those legs.
Yes.
No, he's not the worst quarterback.
Yeah, he is.
But you would agree that he needs to run more because he's not running that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know it's
they still
bad
have that
when
number
even
25.
Turner's having like caviats to like he can't even support big dog's takes. That's when you know it's
quick,
bad.
They still have Taylor running the ball?
Yeah.
Well, that's dumb. Yeah, they should be running him a lot more.
They should. I mean, he should never throw ever. He should never be allowed to throw the ball. It's
Let's
like
go.
a center taking. It's like, hey, you're not allowed to drill more than one time. Like that's it. Don't throw the ball.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's how bad he is. Okay. Speaking of bad quarterbacks, let's move on to this one. The Broncos. Bo Nix. There we go. Hey, Broncos finally got a win.
At home, say it. They're home.
Bo Nix. I say it every time.
Oh.
Bo Nix has still not thrown a touchdown. 4 picks, no touchdowns. The Broncos are 1-2. The Jets are 2-1. It is in New York, and this game is a 7-point spread in favor of the Jets.
Caveat. Let's just say one thing. Side note, linear note.
I don't think you know what caveat means.
Watch.
I don't think you know what one fail swoop means. Have you ever seen that? Never mind. Go ahead.
Ready?
That comedian joke.
He said, I watched Bo Nix play. And he said, the worst quarterback. I said, and he goes on in Auburn and plays. Then he said, will never be in the NFL. About the 17th time I've said, I think that the 30th. He goes to the Oregon Ducks, kicks ass. He gets drafted by Sean Payton. I don't think the guy's a great quarterback. Let me just say that. I said could play in the NFL. There's a difference. But anyway, I forgot.
Such a lame prediction.
Look, right now I got
NFL
70,000 feet. Where's the game I'm picking? Denver at where? Denver at where? Jets. And are they at the Jets? Are they at the Jets?
Yeah, at the Jets. At the Jets.
That's going to be, Jets are going to beat the shit out of Bo Nix.
Jets are going to smoke them.
Bo Nix is great, but they're going to get killed.
No,
rookie.
It's a work in progress. Please, we're rookie.
Rookie with 0 touchdowns.
And who's the running back for the Denver Broncos?
Javonte Williams.
How great is he?
He's actually pretty darn good.
Okay, there we go.
And they have Javon McLaughlin too.
Yeah, okay.
Well, they scored all the touchdowns.
Never heard of him.
They scored all the touchdowns yesterday.
Championship.
Let's
go next one.
Did you pick the Jets?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Speaking of bad, man, we just going down the list about your bad quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts leading the league in interceptions.
I already pick them all.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
What
Jalen Hurts leading the league in interceptions. Eagles 2.5-point favorites taking on the Buccaneers. And what did I say? What was my prediction this year? And I already said this earlier on the podcast that Saquon Barkley would have an MVP-like season. And what has he done? He's been the best player in football.
And what did I say is going to happen to him?
Yeah, he says he's going to get hurt, but he's not gotten hurt, has he?
Thank you.
But he hasn't gotten hurt.
It's the fourth game coming up.
This is a game that the Eagles probably win, but
at Eagles?
No, it's in Tampa. I'm going to take. Man, I just don't believe in Baker Mayfield. I'm going to take the Eagles.
Eagles will win.
Buccaneers by a field goal.
Ooh.
Coming off a horrible loss. They're going to win that game at home.
Okay, next game.
I think they're a fraud. I think that too.
I don't think they're good either. I just think the Eagles are frauds.
No, I agree.
Frauds versus frauds.
Here's one
and
right
Jalen
here.
throws more interceptions.
Yeah, here's one right here that's interesting because we don't know what happens with the Bengals tonight, but they're playing at Carolina next week. Somehow they're only a 6-point favorite.
Yeah, because the Red Rockets under center. Big dog, put some respect on Andy's name. I mean, my God, 316 yards, 3 touchdowns.
So the Bengals are playing where?
At the Panthers.
I say it on every game, and he still asks where is.
Dude,
the Bengals are playing in Carolina.
It's like the Zach Galifianakis where the numbers go everywhere, where he's at the table.
Julie calls it a beautiful mind. I write them on the window.
Yes, nobody calls it.
Yeah, she does. She used to call me beautiful mind in L.A. I used to write shit on the thing.
The guy at Beautiful Mind had
schizophrenia. Let's just say one thing.
He was a paranoid.
Let's just say
Masomenos.
Yeah, Masomenos.
Hey, listen, and we got Jude at home. He's got a dog to go with him at home.
Yeah, no shit.
Smartest fucking dog in the world.
Fix the car and open the car.
Anything.
That goalie can fix the car. But I just want to say something real quick. And when we're done with all this, I just think that I have the most humorous thing to say about all of these selections. But let's go through this. Give me the game again. Because I'm thinking about something else that's going on over here.
Bengals, Panthers.
Panthers.
I'm worried about early onset dementia.
I've been saying this for months. I swear he's losing his mind. I think there's something wrong.
Listen, if you haven't updated the will, remember I get the cassettes.
You do.
I get the signed cassettes.
You got them.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead.
Signed cassettes. That's all I need. That right there could buy you any house in the world. How many do I get? There's like 20 left over.
I'm already getting y'all tiny homes. That's all y'all can afford. Your whole generation is fucked. Y'all are in tiny homes. Go ahead.
Did you pick the Bengals?
Yeah, Bengals.
Turner picked that game.
I want to pick the Panthers, but I'm going to pick the Bengals.
I'm going to take the Bengals too. And I actually think the Bengals will win tonight, and they're going to blow the Panthers out. Like this line is off. Okay. Overreaction to one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right,
Jaguars at the Texans. Texans favored by 4.5. CJ Stroud has not looked good, but the guy who's looked worse is, again, his boy, Trevor Lawrence.
What a player.
There is no arguing this one.
What a player.
This one's a disaster. And Doug Peterson, Super Bowl champion
And author.
Thank you. He is going to get fired in the next couple games.
Which
if they lose tonight,
I don't know who they're going to bring.
You called it.
I don't know who. This is the problem with that. I picked
That's why
the
shouldn't
Texans. The Texans, but the problem with firing him is it really, if you think about it, you have no replacement for him. The Jags are an organization.
you got to go get Vrabel. You got to get some.
What I'm saying is, you're dumb. You're dumb to put an interim coach right now. Let him lose, get some picks, and then bring in a good coach.
Yeah,
Move
but
on.
see, that's the problem though. Is if you bring in I don't know. I guess it's a lose-lose because no coach wants to lose. But Doug Peterson's never going to try to lose, right? So if you keep him there, I guess he's so bad, maybe they'll just lose anyway.
Okay.
I'm serious. Like,
no,
they're
I'm
that
not
bad. Like, I don't know what you do, because if you hire an interim, maybe they're worse.
No, they're not going to hire an interim.
You want to be worse. You want to lose this year. They're terrible.
Divisional game here. It's going to be a ugly game. These teams get together. It typically is. I'm going to take the Texans by a field goal just because they just got smoked by Minnesota, and I think they win it. But I would not be surprised if the Jaguars won it. Houston by 3.
Your pick, Dylan?
I'm taking the Texans by 14.
All right.
Did you pick the Texans?
No, yeah, I picked the Texans.
Okay, next one we've got. These are now the afternoon games on Sunday, and the first one, Commanders at the Cardinals. Cardinals had one good week. Again, we don't know what happens with the Commanders tonight. I'm assuming the Bengals are probably going to win, but it's in Arizona. It's in Arizona, and Arizona's a 5.5 point
I picked
favorite.
the Cardinals.
I guess I'm gonna take the Cardinals. Close game. Don't think they cover that number. Cardinals close game.
I'm gonna take the Commanders here.
Yeah.
I think the Commanders. I just don't believe in the Cardinals.
Certainly could win it.
Yeah. So give me Commanders.
I don't like the Cardinals either. But when we was going through their list of saying there's no way they win 8 games, I had a win here. So
if they lose here, our pick's looking really good. Your pick on that. Okay. Patriots at the 49ers, the 1-2 49ers who gave the game away yesterday and are now not even atop their own division. In fact, they're in 3rd place.
I picked the first half to be a tight game in this game. So if you want to bet anything like your cat or shit, bet them on that. Like, you can get rid of your cat. No one gives a fuck about cats. So what I'm saying is,
it's a great point.
Yeah, no one cares. Just toss your fucking cats out the window. They'll land on their feet and they keep going.
That's right.
All right, and they can live in the fucking alleys of New York. But the bottom line is, I'll take. Give me the game again.
Patriots 49ers. Holy smokes, we're losing them. I think you might. Oh my God.
49ers at Pats at 49ers. 49ers will beat the living shit out of them. They have a huge problem, and the Pats are going to really have to go for a quarterback pick this year.
No, they have Drake May.
No, they're not going to keep him.
What are you talking about? Everybody likes Drake May.
I'm sorry.
We haven't even seen him play.
He fucking sucks.
We haven't seen him play.
I think if 49ers won that game yesterday, they may come out a little slow, but I think they're just come out and whoop their ass because Patriots
kill them.
49ers by 21.
All right, next game.
Yeah, I'll say 49ers by 17.
Next
Although
game
Brock Purdy looks horrible this year.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, you know he does. He doesn't look good.
Yeah, okay.
Does he
Why
look
do
good?
we have double Monday night games again?
I told
this
you.
Next
I told
week?
you that.
6:30. I mean,
they're trying to push this. They're trying to push this. I don't get it, but
I like double Monday night games, but why not gap them out 2 hours?
They're just the dumbest. Right
I don't get it.
Okay.
Play a fucking late game.
No, I agree with you. Browns, at least this week, they put, like, the first week, they had 3 games in the afternoon. Like, there was too many games in the morning and only 3. This time there was 5 in the afternoon, so that was good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Browns at the Raiders, losers 1-3. Browns, it's in.
Raiders will win the game.
Browns by 1 is the line.
I think Dylan's going to take the Brownies. After the Raiders got embarrassed, I'm going to take the Raiders at home by 3.
Well, who'd you take?
Raiders.
I don't like being on the same side. But no, I actually wanted to take the Raiders here. I just don't believe in the Browns. Give me the Raiders. Oh, man. No, I'll get the Raiders. Give me the Raiders. Okay, Raiders for all of us. Okay, moving on. We've got here's my upset of the week right here. Again, hope. Oh, you know what? Justin Herbert must not be playing. Kansas City's a 7-point favorite in L.A.
Yeah.
So he must be out. He got hit in the head at the end of the game last game, so he must be out. So Kansas City at the Chargers, and the Chiefs are favored by 7.
Man, you don't think if that was Easton? Yeah, I guess. I mean, you're right.
With the
line, it's got to be.
It would be a
well,
pick 'em.
look it up.
It'd be a pick 'em.
Is he playing or not?
Well, I'm saying right now they're probably assuming he's not playing. Let's see. Justin Herbert. Here we go. 4 hours ago. X-rays negative. Team will monitor him this week. Taylor Heineke ready to lead the Chargers offense.
That's our boy.
Versus the Chiefs amidst Justin Herbert injury. It says if he is unable to play. So we don't know yet. What are you writing?
So I can know. It's another one I picked. I'm going to go upset here. I'm going to go that the Chiefs are going to get beat.
Okay.
Well, I wanted to pick that, but I just can't with Heineke. I mean,
yeah, the Chiefs will find a way to win again. It'll probably be close, but Chiefs.
I hate picking the Chiefs. I wanted to pick the Chargers so bad.
I hate picking the Chiefs too.
I don't care. I'm doing it. Caveat: if Justin Herbert plays, give me the Chargers. Otherwise, I have the Chiefs.
Right.
Okay.
This is not Nom. There are rules.
Yeah.
Can't just go
Can't
caveat.
Did he not do the same thing?
Shoot.
Okay.
Shoot first and ask questions later.
What? What'd you just say?
Nothing.
Shoot first and ask questions later.
That's not how that works.
That's what you do in Nom.
No, that's not what anyone.
That's why I
does
got
in Nom.
statues.
Let's
Show
stop.
a photo of
We're
them in
gonna
this take.
What were the rules?
Statues.
What were the rules?
He's only
Rich.
gone off the rails once.
I actually will say he's claiming he's high. He's got a little bit of leftovers from yesterday of the Xannies. Like it's stuck in him because he's not all there mentally. I can tell. Okay.
You do have it's foggy up at 70,000 right now. It's hard
I've
to
been up
see
at
down.
literally 70,000 is where I fly.
Yeah, I know.
Let's go.
Bills at the Ravens. Ravens by 2.5.
God,
This
I
is the
just
Sunday
want
night game.
I'm going to go with the Bills, but I'm telling you, that's the Ravens season as well.
Yeah, the Ravens are going to win the game. It's
Yeah.
their season. They beat the shit out of the Cowboys, let the Cowboys back into the game. But the Bills, I expect to win tonight, and I don't think they're going to be 4-0. So
I'm going
to
Bills.
Baltimore. I'm taking Ravens.
Bills.
I 100% agree with your logic, and it's why I want to take the Bills here. I mean, if the Bills were to lose tonight, I would pick the Bills.
Yeah.
I would pick them, but I'll take the Ravens, assuming the Bills are going to win tonight. If the Bills lose, I would take the Bills.
Is this the last game or no?
2 Monday night games.
two Monday
Titans
night.
at the Dolphins. Dude, this is how bad these two teams are. The Dolphins are a 2.5 point favorite with Skylar Thompson at quarterback, unless Tyler Huntley starts.
It's going to be Huntley.
Titans will win the game.
I'm gonna. Oh God.
This is ugly.
We should just.
I'm gonna
sorry.
take the Dolphins because I think Huntley's gonna play, and I think.
Oh, if Huntley's going to play, I'll pick the Dolphins. They're going to play Huntley. Well, that's my quarterback.
I mean, I would assume they have to after last week.
Boy.
Tyler Huntley. They don't know. They're not. No. It sounds like they don't. They probably will not. But I don't know. I'm gonna take the Dolphins anyway.
I'm going to take the Titans.
I'm gonna take the Dolphins regardless because I think Will Levis is that bad. I don't think it even matters. I think he's worse than Skylar Thompson.
No, Titans.
Will Levis is not worse. Will Levis is not worse than Skylar Thompson.
Okay,
right.
sorry.
Will Levis is not good, but he's not
sorry,
as good as
let me
Skylar
take it back.
Thompson.
He's not worse. He's more detrimental to his team than Skylar Thompson. He
does
has
some
9 turnovers
He does
in
some
3
stupid.
games.
Yeah, no, I mean, he does stupid shit. There's no doubt.
9 turnovers.
Skylar Thompson's.
Skylar Thompson can't move the ball, but
Skylar Thompson.
but 0 is better than -14. So I'll take Skylar Thompson.
Skylar Thompson's the worst thing I've ever seen. Yeah, I
No,
know.
he is. He's horrific. I
No,
told you.
I've never seen a quarterback that bad.
No, he's maybe the worst.
Nathan Peterman. That's it.
He's maybe
Next
the worst
one.
ever. We all
Last
wait.
one.
Did you pick the Titans and we both picked the Dolphins?
Yes.
Okay. Seahawks at the Lions.
Lions are going to kill them.
Give me the Lions by a touchdown. Seahawks aren't going up.
What a ridiculous schedule the Lions have too. It's ridiculous.
That's actually that's actually so
it's
dumb.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I'll take the Lions.
It's just a ridiculous schedule. What they gave the Cowboys, I'll say that. All right, real quick, can I see the whole list real quick before we move on to the last part of the show?
This?
Yeah, real quick. Okay, so let's just turn to this is for you to look.
Okay.
So we're gonna say the Cowboys and the Giants. I picked Dak in preseason. Derek Carr versus Kirk. I never picked a quarterback for that. Rams versus the Bears. Caleb Williams. He's now playing. That's an obvious one. I'm not going to take credit for that. Everyone picked him. I just want to see what quarterbacks I've picked.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Packers. Who's playing?
Malik.
Jordan. No, hold on. I picked Jordan Love.
yeah.
And Dylan said it sucks. He's never going to play. And I picked the worst quarterback of them all, Malik Willis.
Well, he is the worst.
Right,
You're right.
They're both playing in the NFL.
But you picked him once
And
they
I-
already were in the
and-
NFL. You didn't know
Real
who
quick.
they were.
And the worst
say
one you
2-0.
said that was horrible that I knew
2-0.
was
Malik.
Then I said the worst one I said Richardson, who I said I don't even like, but he's going to play
No, you
in
picked
the
Richardson.
NFL.
You
God.
got to stay with Richardson.
Stop. Don't
You
even
better hope he
try.
starts running. You better start running.
Don't even
I
try.
That was one of your picks.
But
I'll
I'm
give
saying
you Jordy.
he plays in the
Give
NFL.
you
Let
Jordan
me
and Malik.
finish. Broncos, Jets.
Can I say something?
Who's playing? Bo Nix.
He picked
in
all these
college
guys to play in the NFL when they were already in the NFL. Yes.
No, they're not.
Please.
You're lying.
Where did Malik Willis play college?
This is the best one. This is the best one. But when he was,
can you answer that?
Yeah, I saw him.
Where did he play in college?
But I did see him play.
You told a story about how I told you about him.
What? No, it was like I saw the guy play in college 3 or 4 times. Just I'm not lying about that. Okay.
He knows Liberty. He's a Liberty Flame fan.
This is the funniest one.
He remembers Liberty.
Is it Jalen Hurts?
He's never watched somebody.
Jalen that did not throw the ball, got replaced by Tua. I pick him to go to the NFL, and the Eagles pick him, and then they're starting someone else, and they start him, and he's kicked ass, goes to the Super Bowl, and like Colin said, I agree. He's not playing well this year. Let me finish this.
2 years.
Colin said, I've never seen a Super Bowl where one guy against the 49ers was beating the whole team.
This take a million
times.
I'm
done. Bengals. Let me finish.
He was
Bengals.
horrible in the Super Bowl.
Cardinals. Now, this is the best one. I picked Trevor, but that's an easy one.
Yeah.
Trevor's terrible.
Okay.
And I wouldn't be bragging about these.
Trevor's dominant.
What are you bragging about? They're all so bad.
Hold on. And this is the funniest one. Purdy.
Oh, you picked Purdy in college?
Oh, yeah, he knew.
You picked Purdy in college?
We were watching the draft, and when he picked it last in the draft, he said, this guy is going to kill it.
But I just want to say something. No, I'm not joking when I say this.
He watched them play in an NFL game and said they're an NFL player.
But think about it. Turner's been sitting there for 10 years and seen me say this. When a guy comes on with
that's why I call you the quarterback guru.
Thank you. On college or something, I go, that guy can play.
Oh, Sammy's great.
Let me finish. I forgot to say. This is the one that makes it. This is the one that makes it so funny. He said Heineke will be out of the league 2 years ago when the other guy Sam Howell took over. And who's starting? Who's starting Sunday?
He's not a starter.
Well, wait a minute. He's starting.
See, again, this is
He's starting. What do you mean he's not a starter?
This is the flawed logic that he uses.
A starter. Malik Willis, a starter.
This is the flawed logic. If somebody is not a starter, but they come in due to injury and start a game, they are not the starter for that team.
That's your take.
Not being
but
a starting
think about
NFL
it. How
quarterback.
off and how on I am. I pick a guy that you say is not even going to be in the league, and instead of Jordan Love, who went to the who went deep into the playoffs. I know. Yes, I did. He's UCLA. Yes, I did.
He did not go to UCLA.
I mean, no,
he never watched him play.
Yes, I did. I said, I swear to God, he was going to
never watched him play. He went to Utah State.
Utah State. My bad.
My bad.
Swear to God, I did. Swear to God, I watched him play. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. So what I'm saying is I picked them and they're starting.
Yeah, you picked them when they already played.
So Jordan Love started, and then I picked Malik, who can at least play in the NFL. He's great in preseason with the Titans, then sucks. And I said, and you said he'll be kicked out of the league next year. I said a team will pick him up and he will play again. And he's starting. I'm done.
Yep, he's not starting. And he'll never be a starter.
We just named it.
He'll never be a starter.
All right. Well, should he be the second quarterback if he shouldn't be in the league?
No.
Okay. Well, he is.
He shouldn't be in the league. Matt LaFleur having 2 games against the worst defense is saving his career.
I'm in shock he picked him up. I'm in shock Matt picked him up.
Their backup got hurt.
They couldn't have got
there was no one out
Huntley?
there. No.
Really?
Their backup was injured.
They couldn't have traded for Sam Howell?
Nope. Okay. Nobody. No, talk about there's a guy who's out of the league.
Sammy.
You want to bet he'll start again?
Sam Howell.
You want to bet he'll start again on the air right now?
Sam Howell.
Yeah. And on a team, he'll play somewhere and start in NFL games, plural. Sorry. You want to bet?
Yeah, I
Dallas
do.
should get rid of their trade backups, Cooper Rush, and go get that guy.
Sammy.
All right,
done.
Gotta love Sammy. Big Dog, thank you for joining us always.
You're welcome.
Maybe the most entertaining person on the internet.
Yes.
No one's done more in life than you. We don't have to get into all that. But
I mean,
now
when you get to sit with me for an hour,
you just get smarter.
Yeah, like Bailey said, you just get smarter. Bailey loves me.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he does.
So thank you to me.
You know, you're like you're like the Mike Leach coaching tree of music. You have all these guys under you that just move on to the coach.
And I come up with some wild stories for them too. Pirate shit, not like that, but stuff like that.
Well,
metaphors.
Thank you.
I'm a fucking poet. I'm a fucking poet. I'm a verbal poet. Me and Trump.
That's right. Yes,
and Biden. All three of us.
Biden.
He had to be bipartisan right there.
Biden, because Biden's a good speaker too.
Oh yeah, he's a real good speaker.
All right.
Yeah, let's. All right.
That's a wrap for today.
No, for you. Go. We're doing college.
Oh, college?
No, you're not doing college.
Let me pick one college game just real quick.
No.
Practice?
Let me just pick one college game. Just give me one college game. I'm going to give you the score.
Alabama versus Georgia.
So Alabama
score.
versus Georgia. Now I'm going to think about this in my mindset because I'm bringing a big
Nostradamus
boob out here. I'm going to have a boob as a globe, a big boob.
All right.
And I'm going to pick that score, but I'm going to give it to Bailey to record me.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do the
Then you're
pick,
gonna
and
do
I'm
it
going to disclose it under the desk.
Yeah.
We're
We're
going to call
doing
it
this again.
Sealed envelope.
Well, we're
Nobody
gonna call-
finds it funny.
Well, no, I'm just going to say the set of the big 8 ball. What's they just call those things?
Why don't you just give a score right now?
I'm doing it with Bailey.
Give a score.
I got to read.
No.
the
If you
players.
don't give a score, it doesn't count.
He's got to think about it.
Georgia versus who?
Alabama.
What are they? 43.
What?
24-23.
24 to 23?
Say it in North Vietnamese so people at home.
Go out. Close the door on your way out, please. It's almost. Never mind. Close the door. I mean,
what a treat.
I don't
What
know
a
if
treat.
that was a treat, but all right, let's just.
Let's give the people some college picks. Let's see what
I
we got
forgot
here.
to give my NFL teaser of the week.
Oh yeah.
Call the Fours right now. There's only one number to remember, and that's 4.
Yeah, but it kind of messed it up because I assumed the Chargers were going to be like a 2.5 point dog with Herbert, and I was going to get them to 8.5 as one of the legs, but without Herbert, I can't use that leg, so I'm looking here. There's
Yeah, you can. Henneke can. They won't lose by more than 14 with Henneke.
Yeah, but it's 13. It's just the number is I can't take that.
It would be
7 to 6, 7 to 13.
I forgot it's the 6 points.
I'm gonna take. I don't like doing. I'm gonna take the Jets at home against the Broncos from 7-1, just because I'm gonna go through the 3 and the 7 and the 3, and then I think you know what? I think I'm gonna take the Saints to 7.5. I know it's in Atlanta, but I just
Those are
don't-
always close games.
Yeah,
No one ever
I just
wins.
don't see that being a blowout, and I can get over a touchdown. I'm going to do that. So we'll go Saints plus 7.5 and Jets to win outright, or -1, I guess, at home against the Broncos. That'll be my teaser of the week. Real bad beat on our teaser of the week this week. We hit on the Bears plus 8.5, and it came down to the 49ers just having to win the game, and had a 10-point lead with the ball in the fourth quarter and did not win. Lost the game in regulation. So tough beat on the teaser of the week. We'll bounce back this week. All right, now let's move on to some college football, and we got some big games this week. And
Big games.
We'll start with the Thursday night. I'm sorry, not a Thursday night. A Friday night matchup. I know it's a big spread, but we got to get some winners on the book here, okay? Virginia Tech at Miami. Virginia Tech at Miami.
Miami.
I'll take Miami as well. Okay. Washington. Well, do you want to pick Washington? Should we pick Washington Rutgers?
Oh, yeah. Butgers.
Okay.
Butgers by 7.
Did I tell you Butgers was going to win last week?
You did.
3.5 point dogs. It's hard to win in Piscataway. I'll tell you that. Just remember, folks, it's hard to win in Piscataway.
Is Shiano still the head coach there?
Heck yeah, he is.
Just chopping what? Just keep chopping, boys. Keep chopping.
One outright as 3.5 point dogs last week. They're going to cover the 2.5 this week. That's a bet I could see myself possibly taking there. Okay. Next one, we'll go to Saturday. We've got an SEC special 11 a.m. kickoff. Kentucky traveling to your Ole Miss running Rebels.
Yeah, Ole Miss is going to win the game, but I think it's going to be more. I don't think Kentucky's great, but for whatever reason, I just see this being. It says 17.5 here on ESPN. I'm going to say Ole Miss by 13.
Man, I have a hard time believing Kentucky. Like, it's just so they have two different, like, legitimate data points, and one is a home loss to South Carolina by 24, who is terrible, and one is a damn near upsetting Georgia. It's a hard team to gauge here. I'll say Ole Miss by 21. They just seem too good this year. I don't know.
Yeah, they're great. I think
They
they're
seem
an
too
awesome
good.
team.
We've got Michigan at home taking on Minnesota. Michigan inching closer to that top 10 ranking. Michigan's a 9-point favorite.
I'll take Michigan. Ugly game, Michigan.
I'll take Michigan as well. Row that boat back to wherever you came from, PJ Fleck. He's not going to be there much longer, I'll tell you that. And it's not been pretty. That loss to North Carolina looks a lot worse now too. Early in the year.
Oh yeah. No kidding.
That was a bad one. Okay. Here we go. We've got Oklahoma State and Kansas State.
Kansas State rebounds at home. I'll say Kansas State by 14.
So they cover the 6. I'll take Kansas State as well. I like K-State. I think they're a pretty good team. I just think it was the Mormon Magic got them last week. What can you say?
Yes,
Or
it
Magic
did.
got him. Okay, here's a pick here, and I guess maybe I looked on my where I was betting, and I got Baylor at 3 minus 105, and I thought it was a good bet. And some reason ESPN bet showing 2.5. I haven't seen a 2.5 anywhere. That's crazy to me that there's a 2.5 here. But regardless, Baylor is favored in this game despite being 2-2. BYU's ranked in the top 25, 4-0, and they're playing in Waco. Who do you like?
Man,
I'm taking Baylor, obviously.
yeah, it just seems like this is a spot that BYU is going to lose. Coming off such a big win, coming here at 11 o'clock, Baylor. I guess I'm going to take Baylor. I think they suck, though. And I don't think BYU is as bad as you think. But anyway, it's just a spot. I'll take Baylor. Baylor.
That's more of what I'm looking here. Yeah, the spot.
Yeah.
And I think you're buying low on Baylor and you're selling high on BYU. That's the logic for me.
Yep.
Here's another one, and I'll give my best bets at the end. But here's another one that I considered that I'll might take later, and that's Indiana, 7-point favorite at home against Maryland. Indiana could be they surprised some people this year.
Apparently, someone was talking about that the ESPN playoff. It must just be the way their schedule shakes out. But the playoff predictor had them at like I don't know, like a 22% chance of getting in the playoff.
Indiana?
It was something crazy like that. People were like, "What the hell?" But yeah, I don't know.
I'm looking at their schedule. It's Maryland. Then they go at Northwestern versus Nebraska.
Yep.
That's probably a pick 'em. Washington at home, they're favored. At Michigan State, they're favored. And then you got the two toughest games, home against Michigan, at Ohio State. But that's actually...
They could beat Michigan at home.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's kind of nice that Ohio State's on the road because you're probably going to lose that one either way. So you get the Michigan one at home. That's the winnable one. So you go 11-1, you're in for sure.
Yeah.
10-2 even maybe with that schedule. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, that's an interesting... It's like, I know you talked about Nebraska making it last week, but there's going to be a couple Big Ten teams that make it. And who knows if Michigan can keep winning with this guy who can't throw the ball. So I don't know.
I think that's going to be a problem in the Big Ten.
I do too.
You got to be able to throw it at least a little. Obviously, you can pound it, but the problem is it's just hard to just... I mean, Michigan is just obviously not the same team they were last year.
Sure.
So they don't have that offensive line.
The defense is good, but not as... Like, they've got the stars. They got Mason Graham up front and Will Johnson at corner. But the whole defense, as a whole, is not. And
nowhere near as good. Yeah.
No, and Wink Martindale's the defensive coordinator. And you see what Jesse Minter's doing with the Chargers in 1 year. So, obviously, they lost a lot. And Sherrone Moore is just not a very good coach. Well, you pick Indiana?
Yeah.
Okay. Does Nebraska bounce back here? They're taking on Purdue in West Lafayette.
Yeah, Purdue's pretty bad. I think Nebraska wins. I don't know about the number, but I think Nebraska wins that one.
I agree. I mean, Purdue took some sharp money last week as a 6-point dog against Oregon State and lost by 17. So, in Oregon State's like not bad, but they're not good. Here's this. We're not going to pick this game, but I want to tell you this was one of my bets last week. And looking at the number here, they're taking professional money because they opened as a 4-point favorite last night and they're up to 6. How about the Connecticut Huskies? And I believe Jim Mora is their head coach. Is that his name? He was the one at UCLA?
Yeah, Jim Mora Jr.
Yeah, I think he's their head coach. Dude, they've been the worst team in college football for a long time. And like all of college football. And he's actually done a good job. I just wanted to mention that.
Did he get them into a bowl game last year?
I don't think so. I don't think they won but 3 or 4 games last year. Let's see.
Got it.
I thought they were pretty bad still last year. Yeah, they won 3 games. But they won their last 2, and they're 2-2 to start the year. They beat Florida Atlantic. They beat the doors off Florida Atlantic. They should have beat Duke in week 3. They very well could be 3-1. They're favorite at Buffalo, and they got Temple next week. They could go to 4-2 and have a legit shot at a bowl game.
His first year, I guess, he got them into a bowl, and they lost to Marshall.
He got them into a bowl game?
6-6.
I didn't know that. That's impressive. That's pretty impressive.
If that was him there in 2002, I think it was, or 22, I think it was.
It probably was then. Okay. We're not picking that one. Let's see here. How about Northern Illinois at NC State? It's a 6.5-point spread. NC State is not very good, and their quarterback's
NC State sucks. If you have 6.5, I don't know. The game outright though, who wins?
Yeah, who wins? In at NC State.
I'll take NC State by a field goal, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so like.
Yeah. especially if Northern Illinois, it just didn't look good the last week.
Clemson put up 60 on them last week.
Yeah,
NC State.
it's a tough call.
I
mean, NC State very close. I mean, I think that's almost a coin toss game.
Yeah, I would lean definitely on the spread. I would lean in Northern Illinois.
Oh, for sure.
I'm going to say NC State squeaks it out too. It's going to be tight. We picked the same team on every one, but
have we?
Yeah, but most of them have been pretty big favorites.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Here's an interesting one, and I know I'm probably picking too many games here, so just move me on if I'm doing that. But
No,
Navy's undefeated, and they beat Memphis this week, which was a big win. They're taking on 1-2 UAB, who lost to Louisiana Monroe 2 weeks ago by 30, and yet UAB is just a 3-point underdog. It's very, very weird.
That is a weird one.
So that seems like a trap spot.
Yeah,
for
I'll
Navy.
take UAB. Know nothing about either.
Dang, I was gonna take them right there. Now we're gonna have the same. No, I'll go Navy, but you're right. I'll tell you right now, you're gonna get that pick right. I'm gonna get it wrong. UAB's gonna win
I
the
have
game.
no idea.
No, they are. They're
I
gonna win
haven't
that
seen
game.
either of those guys play this year.
It's hard for those service academies with the new blocking rules and the NIL. It's just like,
Yep.
But so the fact that Navy's 3-0 is pretty impressive. They have a kid. I don't know if you've seen this, but they have a kid who actually can throw the ball. Like that's kind of why they're
not
decent.
doing. Yeah, they're not running the triple option.
But they are. They throw the ball a lot more. Like they're throwing it like
I've seen them in shotgun before.
Yeah,
and stuff,
they're throwing it like 10 times a game, which is like quadrupled 5 times what a normal game would be.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a good one. South Florida and Tulane, 2 really good group of 5 teams, but both have 2 losses already. It's at Tulane. They're a 6.5-point favorite.
You know, South Florida, I think, is just going to is beat up coming off that Alabama and Miami game, and they go to Tulane, and Tulane is not bad. I saw them play that game against Oklahoma. I'm going to take Tulane in this one.
I'm going to take South Florida purely because I've watched both these teams play a lot. I had money on Tulane this week, and I watched them play their entire game against Oklahoma and this last week. Their defense is just not very good. And I like their coach, and I'm forgetting John Summerall. He came over from Troy. He's really good. Defensive guy. They don't have the pieces in the secondary. And I know South Florida's a running team first, but they moved the ball. They got Louisiana had a backup quarterback in there and moved the ball up and down the field the entire game on them. So I think I agree. I could see South Florida coming into this game a little bit like beat up and maybe not, it's a schedule loss maybe, but I'm going to take the upset here. I think South Florida finds a way to win. I think they're a little bit better team. Here you go. Texas State at Sam Houston State. Your boys.
I'm going to make it my upset pick of the week, even though it's not double digits.
Okay, well, no, that's right. That's what we'll call it.
8 or 8.5. I'll take Sam Houston State.
So here's Turner.
They need to make it Uncle T's underdog of the week. Need to make it. I think Sam's a good team, but I think they need to, try to take the tempo away from Texas State and play keep away and shorten the game as much as they possibly can. Throw them out of rhythm, because when Texas State gets into rhythm, they're obviously tough to stop.
Sure.
So Sam Houston State by a field goal.
I like it. I'm going to take Texas State. They've been my boys all year.
Yeah, they're good. They're really good.
They're really good. I picked them at the beginning of the year. I picked them to go to the college football playoff. I still think they could if they went out. I'm rooting for Sam Houston State. I know some of the players, I guess, watch our show somewhat. So we're fans of Sam Houston State. I'm rooting for them. I'm just going to pick Texas State. I think it could go either way. I hope the Bearcats get it done. Okay. Wisconsin taking on USC off of a loss. USC is a 14.5-point favorite.
Man, this is a game that and Wisconsin's coming off a bye, huh? I'm going to take USC by 4. I think this is going to be a closer, because I think Wisconsin's just going to pound the ball, shorten the game. Wisconsin's defense is not by any stretch good. I think they'll get some stops here and there. I'm going to take Wisconsin. I'm going to take USC to win the game. Close game.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think 14.5 is a lot of points. I get Wisconsin's not the same that they've been in years past, but you come off a real physical game that you lost at a heartbreaker where it looked like you came back, emotional loss, right? Like you came back, looked like you had it and gave it away in the last few minutes. You lose to a team who threw for 32 yards. Tough to swallow that. And all you heard for 2 weeks is how good USC was, and then they lose now. So I don't know. I agree. Kind of sneaky upset spot there. I wish it was in Wisconsin, because then I might actually take Wisconsin here. But I'll take USC in a very tight game. Here we go. Jeremiah's Fighting Irish are at home against Louisville. Louisville is the most fraudulent 3-0 team in the country.
Are they? I didn't think they were great either. I'm going to take Notre Dame.
Tyler Shuck is their quarterback, if you remember him from Texas Tech in Oregon. I'll take Notre Dame, and I think Notre Dame's going to win this by 21. I don't think Louisville scores an offensive touchdown. I'm going to say 24-3.
All right.
Yeah, 24-3. That game's going to go, I'll come back to that in a minute. Yeah, so we both took Notre Dame. Okay. Moving on. Man, we got some good games this week. Oklahoma at Auburn. Here's another. We got the SEC going now. I know.
I don't think Oklahoma's any good, right? But Auburn's got big-time quarterback issues, and they're not good. Apparently, Hugh Freeze was saying all kinds of kind of like giving up on the season kind of shit, like in the press conference. I don't know what he said. Someone was like, Hugh's after that buyout money quick. He wants to get out of here. But I heard someone talk about it earlier this year in preseason that Auburn this year, coming into the year, knew they were not going to be good, and they have tons of NIL money saved up, and they're going to hit the portal and try to be really good next year.
That's very, very true.
I think they have like some good quarterback commit or something like that, and they're going to bring him in and then spend the money in NIL next year. But yeah, I'm going to take Oklahoma to win this one.
Yeah, the problem with that is if you have a disaster year this year, now what? Because you're here, like this game right here, you're favored against Oklahoma by 2. If you lose this game, you're 2-3. You're at Georgia and at Missouri your next 2 games. You're probably missing a bowl game because your last game's at Alabama. You're probably missing a bowl game here if you lose this game. So this is literally, that's the only reason I think this line is 2. Like, I think they're factoring in spot here. It doesn't make any sense for this line to be 2. I get it. OU pulled their quarterback last week. I get it. Look at who OU played when they played bad teams early in the year. You know, I know Tulane was kind of close for a little while, but they pulled it out. Houston, they didn't play well. I get it. First true road game, and we don't know whose quarterback starting is for Oklahoma. That's part of this too, right? Like Jackson Earl got pulled in the second quarter last week.
It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, give me OU. I mean, look, if Arkansas was able to hold them to 14 points after watching Arkansas give up all that to Okie State at the end of the game, I have a hard time believing Auburn's gonna. Auburn's gonna be able to move the ball.
Didn't you say Auburn just scored trash touchdowns in that one? Or was that a close game?
In which one?
Against Arkansas? Or what was it? Was Arkansas up big early? I couldn't remember what you said. I didn't see any of that game.
They weren't up big early, but they led the entire game. Like,
got it.
I want to say the final score was 24-14, and I think no, it definitely was not a blowout. So it was 17-7 in the fourth quarter, and then Auburn actually scored a touchdown with 9 minutes to go to cut it to a 3-point game. But then on the next series, Arkansas came back and had a 12-play, 6-minute drive and scored a touchdown. So, like, Auburn never had the ball with a chance to go tie or win it, but it wasn't a blowout by any means.
Gotcha.
And they had to switch quarterbacks, too. They pulled Hank Brown. I talked about that earlier in the podcast. But, they pulled Hank Brown and went back with Peyton Thorne. They have, like you said, major quarterback issues. I will take Oklahoma here. And this is a spot where I would take Auburn a lot of the time in the back in the day. But this just feels... Yeah,
I'm obviously retired from gambling, but I would not touch that game with a 100-foot pole. No, I have no fucking clue.
That's what I was saying. It's too trappy to lay any money on.
No idea.
Way too trappy. But I do think OU wins. Okay, here we go.
We're going to pick the same team on this.
Arkansas and A&M.
I'm picking Arkansas.
I'm picking Arkansas too.
I mean, if you were going to bet it, if you were a bettor, I mean, my whole thing is, if you were going to bet that and you're better at home, these games are always close. Take the 3.5 points.
Oh, for sure, the 3.5 points. I think this is a field goal game.
I think this is going to come down to the wire. A&M, the offense has looked a little bit better, I guess, with the new kid in there. According to my brother, who loves watching that, the other brother that loves Trey loves watching the Aggies. Elko's, the defense looks good. To me, the A&M's defense looks better, I guess. And like I said, this game is just always really, really tight.
Always tight.
Flip a coin, but I'm going to take Arkansas.
Oh, you know what, dude? I'm tripping. I'm 100% taking Arkansas. I was thinking this game was in A&M, which is why I was hesitant when I said that.
Oh, no, it's Arlington.
It's always in Jerry World.
Yeah.
I'm taking Arkansas in this game for sure. This is going to be a tight game.
Yep.
And if you watched week 1, if Notre Dame wanted to, or if they were smart enough to, Riley Leonard could have run for 150 yards in that game. Taylon Green is the quarterback for Arkansas. He is a ridiculous athlete. If Arkansas decides to run him this week, they will run all over A&M. They struggle with running quarterbacks, this defense does. So I'll take Arkansas as well. Tight game. Okay, let's see. Moving on, skipping those two. Man, talk about two disasters. TCU at Kansas State. Sonny Dykes got kicked out of the game last week. They lost to SMU by 26.
Oh, TCU Kansas?
Yeah, TCU Kansas.
No worries.
And Kansas is 1-3, blew the game late to West Virginia on the road. They're 1-3, disaster start to the season for both these teams.
I think Kansas is going to find a way to win this one. I think TCU after that loss, I don't know. I don't think TCU is very good. I think Kansas, if they could just figure out, if the quarterback could figure out not to turn the ball over, would be. I don't know if they would have lost yet, but yeah, I'll take Kansas in this one.
They're still. Oh, this game's at Arrowhead Stadium. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot. They're doing that remodel on the stadium, so neutral site stuff.
No, you know what? I agree with you. I think Kansas's coaching staff. Like, I think Lance Leopold does a much better job. I think Sonny Dykes is terrible. Like, he'll be one of those coaches like a Gus Malzahn where Gus won the championship and got fired a couple years later.
Yeah.
Gene Chizik, same thing. Like, he didn't win one, but going there, he's gonna get fired like pretty soon here. I'll take Kansas. I mean, we're on the same side of everyone. Here you go. Colorado at Central Florida. UCF is a 14-point favorite.
And rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
They're going to win that.
We should have gotten the Baylor upset last week. We were right on that one, and they choked it away.
Yeah, my brother was drunk arguing with me about this, and I'm still adamant that Colorado's not going to win 6. I think it's 5 or 4.
They did this last year. They were 3-1 last year.
Yeah, and I mean, they should have lost last game. My brother's like, oh, only 3 more wins. Talking shit. He's like, they're going to beat UCF. I'm like, he is. Oh. Sometimes he just doesn't. Trey, Jeremiah, like Trey knows a shit ton about football and obviously way more X's and O's because he played it. But he does like to get on the hype trains a little much. And I was like, dude, UCF's actually good. I was like, they beat Sam pretty bad. Like they're a good team. They obviously had to come back against TCU, but they did come back. And so anyway, I think they're going to win that game pretty easy.
I completely agree. Fresno at UNLV.
I'm going to say the clock strikes midnight on UNLV. I think Fresno beats them. That quarterback is just, I know the one Elder loves, the kid.
Oh yeah.
He was fun to watch run around, in that Kansas game. But man,
I hate looking at scores because it's just always can be misleading just looking at box scores. But I'm just looking at the box scores
right
here
for
from
Fresno State. Me too. Yeah,
They beat New Mexico by 17. That should be by way more than that. And they were only favored by 11, which tells you what the market might think of Fresno State. And then they only beat Sacramento State week 2, 46-30. Like they give up 30 points to Sacramento State. You know what? I'm gonna take UNLV. I think UNLV wins this. I think they're I think their coaching staff's really good. And
the funny thing is, I think UNLV is a better team too. I'm gonna go. Sometimes you're wrong about these. I'm just going to take the opposite. I'm going to go Fresno. I think UNLV is going to lose.
100% they could win.
They're due for a loss.
I
actually hate Fresno State's quarterback.
I can't stand
that same
Mikey
guy,
Keene, dude.
Is that who it is?
Stand
no,
him.
I'm changing my pick. I can't do it. Just give me UNLV. I hate that kid. I really do. I hate that kid.
I can't stand Mikey Keene.
UNLV by 7. Yeah, I can't.
I love that. That's beautiful.
Can't do it.
Funny story real quick because I'm going to get – I don't even know if they play this week. I'm scrolling through here. Does Vandy play this week? I don't think they do. So when I was doing the little pick 'em with Will last week, Will and I were talking about some of the bets, and he goes, we're talking about Vanderbilt, Missouri, and I go, this is one I like. I like Vandy to keep this close. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. And Will's like, last year there was a game I bet on Vanderbilt as like a plus 700 underdog to win the game outright, and they won. And he goes, so now just out of respect every week, I put $15 on them no matter who they play. On the money line. I'm like, that is the most legendary thing I've ever heard in my life. Just out of respect. He goes, honestly, like if I'm running low on funds, I'll just throw like $5 on them sometimes, but usually it's like 10 or 15. And so they were playing Missouri this week, and he threw as plus like 500 underdogs, and they should have won. They should have won the game outright.
Should have won it.
Okay, we got UNLV. Moving on here. Do we even pick North Carolina Duke? I guess they're 3-1, 4-0. We have to.
I'll take Duke.
Yeah, me too. Although that's a spot I could see UNC bouncing back in.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
pick
Duke sucks too. I mean, they're 4-0.
Oh yeah, for sure. UTSA, East Carolina.
I take East Carolina.
Yeah, me too. And I think
UTSA's having a rough year this year.
East Carolina back-to-back games has been up 17-0 and lost. They were up 17-0 on App State and lost. Up 17-0 on Liberty and lost. I think this.
So if you are someone at home that actually bets, just take them in the first half.
Take them in the first half.
About the second half.
They will win in the first half. And UTSA looks like a dumpster fire this year. No offense. I like UTSA, but yeah, give me East Carolina. Okay, Texas at Mississippi State.
Come on.
I know, but we've got to pick my Longhorns.
Texas.
Thank you. Okay. Sorry, writing this down. Okay, we both took Texas. Skipping. We're both taking Ohio State, so we get that pick win.
Yep.
We're both taking Clemson, so we both get that pick. Okay. Sure. You want to pick Houston, Iowa State?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
I
Iowa
think
State, Houston.
I'm with you. I heard what you said earlier about I think it's a closer game than 13.5, but I'm going to take Iowa State to win.
I agree.
Iowa State to win ugly.
Yes, very ugly. Okay, here we go. Game of the week.
Yep.
Line is 1.5 or 2, basically a pick 'em. Georgia traveling to Alabama. The only 2 losses they've had in 4 years are in the SEC title game to Alabama. This one's in Tuscaloosa at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Georgia 3-0, Bama 3-0, Georgia number 2, Bama number 4. I mean, doesn't get much bigger than this. I'm sure that's where game day is. Going to be in Tuscaloosa.
Yep.
Who do you got?
Give me the Dogs, I guess. Close game, Dogs. I don't like taking them to win on the road, but I just think they're, the coaching staff that's been there, although obviously half the teams in jail are always getting suspended from the team. Georgia, it's a clusterfuck over there. But I'll take the Dogs to win on the road. Tight game. I think it's going to be a close game. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I hate Bennett, or what's his name? Not
Carson Beck.
Carson Beck. Can't stand him.
Like, I know, like, we're basically doing picks, and I don't want to, like, dive into, like, a huge preview of this game, but...
You can't. I mean,
well, no, I just want to talk about it for a second, since this is such a big game. And to me, it's like... I just think both these teams are down this year, which makes this hard, because, in most years, I would say that early in the year, like, if this was last year, I would take Georgia 100% of the time, because I think Georgia is so much more ready early in the year. Like, yes, they're good the whole year, but Bama with Saban would always get better as the year went on.
Yeah.
I don't know what Bama is yet with Kalen DeBoer. I don't really know if Milroe fits his system, but Georgia is so down this year. It's like giving me doubts of taking Georgia. Like, I'm going to take them to win the game, but I'm just looking at this from the perspective of breaking the game down. Like, okay, you've got, I guess the positive for Georgia is you have Carson Beck, who at least had played in a lot of big games. He's gone on the road. Also, the positive of this is Georgia is coming off of a little bit of a scare, right? They should have lost to Kentucky, but they got out, and I just feel like that's probably a lot better than them coming in off like a 52-0
So are
win.
both teams coming off buys?
Yes.
Okay.
Both teams are coming off buys, and Alabama's coming off that win against Wisconsin on the road, and Georgia's coming in off that win against Kentucky on the road. This is just such a tough matchup.
It's just going to be a good game to enjoy. I don't know. I think you'd be crazy to bet it one way or the other, especially this early, not knowing too much about these teams.
From a betting perspective, wow, FPI or ESPN Analytics, and I mean, I think that's a bullshit thing. But 66% Alabama wins. Okay, hot take. Alabama is an overrated place to play college football. Like, it's an overrated, tough environment.
Oh, yeah. Brandon Walker always says that.
Not as tough.
Brandon State's not a hard place to play at all. It loses his mind. Yeah,
I mean, it's not easy, but, like, in comparison to, like, College Station.
It's like they got their pom-poms, but they're not screaming.
They're
just
a bunch of frat kids
you get
and
the
sorority
pom-poms.
sisters.
Everybody's in their suits and dresses out there, yeah.
I think Auburn is a much tougher place to play when they're good than Alabama is when they're good.
Yeah.
They've been spoiled for years, the fans have. I'm sure back when Saban first got there, it was nuts, but back when it was the LSU, Bama, but I'm just telling you, I think that's the difference in this game. I think Georgia is 4 points better than Bama, over 3 points better than Bama, 3 or 4, and I think you're going to think, oh, well, the home field, that's why the line. I don't think there's really much of a difference here. I don't think my only concern with Georgia, is the run game. Can they establish a run game? Because they have been horrible on the ground. If they establish a run game, they could win this by double digits. Alabama's only shot to win this game will be a tight game. Like, they will not blow Georgia out. Georgia's defense is too good this year. So anyway, that's my little breakdown.
I mean, I'd agree. Like I said, I guess there's a reason the line's 1.5. I think it can go either way.
I mean, it looks like it's coming down a little bit too. I didn't see it open 2.5. I saw it open 1.5. ESPN bet.
I have no idea. I just see 1.5.
No, I agree too. I'm just saying from like looking at this, ESPN always like shows an open and a current.
Oh,
and it's never accurate. Like, you always see their open is just wrong every time.
Gotcha.
Okay, we got one more night game here on NBC. I guess it's not on Peacock, thank God. 2 undefeated teams, 2 top 20 teams, Penn State and Illinois, yet Penn State's a 17.5-point favorite.
Yeah, we were talking about this. Seems like the trap game of the century, right?
Yeah.
But I love Illinois. I love Bielema. I'm going to take Penn State in a tight game, and I hope Illinois wins.
I hope Illinois wins too. Yeah, that's here's my weird upset of the week. Like, I don't think it's gonna. If there was like a Northern Illinois like upset, here's what it would be: South Alabama.
I was just about to say
over
that.
LSU. Were you really?
Because South Alabama the last 2 weeks fucking rolled both teams. I mean, they played at App State, and I looked at the score. It was like 35-0. I was like, what is going on? They lost their first 2 games, and then I guess they played Northwestern State, who's like the worst. Is that who it was?
They scored 87.
They're the worst team maybe like ever. Them and McNeese are real bad these days, and so like they just rolled them and maybe got their confidence. But man, maybe that's just fool's gold. But I think if you were betting, like if you were doing parlays or something at home for fun with like multiple teams, like take South Alabama at plus 21. Just throw them 100%. In as a booster because I just think they're going to keep it close.
And so here's the other thing that people probably don't know because they don't know anything about South Alabama. And like talking about it, they lost their first 2 games. Their starting quarterback, who's actually really pretty solid. Yeah. He didn't play against Ohio.
Makes sense.
He was injured. Yeah. So it was game time decision. He got ruled out. So they lost that game by 7. They're 3-1 otherwise. Their only losses would be to North Texas. Early, their defense isn't good, but they can score with anybody when that quarterback's healthy. I tell you, they have receivers. They've got a quarterback. They got a run game. I agree. I actually wouldn't be shocked to see South Alabama win this game.
That would be just to see Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly might, if they lost South Alabama, he might die on the sideline.
Yeah, honestly,
you might get to witness him. I'm not rooting for it. I'm not. No, we're not.
No, not for the death.
We're not rooting for Brian to die.
Let me phrase it. I'm not here for the death. I'm here for South Alabama beating them.
Oh, for sure.
I'm here for that. I'm not here for Brian Kelly dying. Yeah. It might make for good TV, but I don't want.
And dude, it's also just the classic. Like, obviously, it's Tiger Stadium after dark.
Sure,
but they go into a bye. I get it, but their next game is Ole Miss at home, and everybody's thinking, oh well, this is a formality, and then we come in there. They beat a horrible UCLA team by 17 at home last week.
Horrible. I think South Alabama might actually be a favorite against UCLA if they were at home.
They should be.
They should be. Like, they're a better team than UCLA. That's how bad. What's his name? Foster, Deshaun Foster for UCLA.
His press conference is world class.
I've heard multiple football people.
We're located out in Los Angeles.
We're in LA. Yeah, we're in LA. If you guys didn't know, I heard multiple people say that guy, not only shouldn't he not be a Division I head football coach, that he probably shouldn't even be a high school head football coach. Like, he's that stupid and has no idea what he's doing. Like, hiring that guy was a disaster move for UCLA.
Yeah.
Like, they need to fire him before the end of the year. That's their only move to save face. Okay, quickly, sorry. FSU at SMU.
No, don't apologize. Oh, let me tell you this. I know you just keep wanting to, SMU had a bad game against Nevada. You want to keep putting down the Pony Express. They are going to fuck Florida State up this week. SMU by 24. By 24. They're going to blow the doors off of them.
I'm going to do this, right?
Yeah, take Norvell and you
Give
bunch
me Florida State. Give me
fucking
Florida State.
Losers over there.
No,
the fact that they beat God, Cal should have beat him. If Cal would have beat him,
I can't do it. I'm taking SMU.
No, you have to take Florida State. They're your team.
I can't take. I hate Florida State. I like Mike Norvell.
I actually like Mike Norvell.
I like Mike Norvell, dude. No, I will say this, and I know you didn't. Normally, you're watching football with me on Saturday. You were up at the Sam Houston State game, but I was watching that game, and Jonathan was over, and I go, dude, I actually I've been defending Mike Norvell for 3 games now, and I said to Turner on the podcast, I was like, he could go 0-13 or he could go 0-12 this year and he'd keep his job. And watching DJU in the first half against Cal and watching how bad he mismanaged the clock.
Did he play the whole game?
Yes. And I was like, I can't do it anymore. I even sent a tweet. I go, I like Mike Norvell, but I can't do it anymore. I can't. He keeps, dude. They booed.
Their backup quarterback must be real bad.
It's the Tate Rodemaker, not Tate Rodemaker. It's the third guy who came in last year and literally couldn't complete a forward pass.
Okay, but it also goes into when you're 0-3, you'd pretty much try anybody, right? But it goes into the fact that they probably gave him $2 million in NIL money.
Sure.
Or I'm just making up the number.
Something like that.
So it's like the boosters, you're telling me I paid this fucking guy $2 million and he's not playing? And like Jeremiah said, it's almost the same situation. Now, he hasn't been near as bad, but it's almost like Riley Leonard's not a good thrower of the football.
Yes.
And I always forget the backup's name, Angeli or whatever his name is, but it's like...
Is he a young kid?
No, he's been at Notre Dame forever, dude. Oh. And it's because I forget the situation, but it's like... I think he comes from a pretty like wealthy family, and it's like
So he doesn't care.
he knows he's never going to be a pro, and just loves being at Notre Dame.
That's
I
pretty
think that's the deal, and so it's like has always stayed. But it would be cool for them to give him a shot, like especially if Riley Leonard screws up again. And I probably butchered that story, and Jeremiah will write an article that I have no fucking idea who Stephen Jelly is or whatever the fuck his name is. But yes,
we appreciate Jeremiah's comments. Thank you, Jeremiah.
Thank
We
you,
appreciate
Jeremiah.
it. If you guys, if you get the Sam Houston State kids to comment on this too, that'd be great. More comments, the better. But no, I do watching them play, or watching the preview of the game. I saw somebody tweet out, and it was like they were introducing the players, and this was at Florida State. There was like probably 50% of the stadium there,
if that.
And then they bring out Mike Norvell after the players or before the players, and they cheered for Mike Norvell, and then they bring out DJU, and every single one of that 50% of the stadium booed him.
Yeah.
They're starting quarterback 3 games into the season, a team that went undefeated last year, and they're booing their starting quarterback because he's that bad. I mean, he really is one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen. I just don't know why Mike Norvell doesn't turn this into a power run team and just figure out a way to just run block every time and look at what Oregon State did last year offensively. He wasn't that bad last year. Now maybe he had better weapons. I don't know. Like, you'd think Florida State had more talent here. I have no clue.
Sure.
I don't understand this at all.
Yeah, I don't either.
The defense looked better last week. I'll give them that. Like, the defense actually played well. Do you want me to take Florida State?
Oh yeah, you have to take.
All right, I'll take Florida State.
I'm gonna take Florida State.
I just think they're gonna lose now that you say it. But I hate SMU. SMU sucks, dude. The quarterback that they went with, he's fucking horrible. They benched the kid who went like 11-1 last year. It was just like, I don't understand. Anyway, okay.
Great team.
Brent Lashley's just
great team.
Lost. Cincinnati at your Red Raiders.
As bad as Texas Tech looked that first game, we were watching it. I mean, it's funny because I guess they're getting back to just pound. I mean, like their best players are fucking running back, run the ball, right? Yeah. So it's like, I think they're going to win this game. I think Cincinnati's better, obviously, than people thought after they beat the doors off of Houston. I don't think they're good, but I do think better than people thought, but not great. I do think Texas Tech will find a way and win this game at home.
I agree. I'm taking Tech. Do we even bother picking your Wyoming Cowboys anymore? We're 0-4.
No, we can't do it. Hey, listen, that program died when that good old hard man of a football coach left there. And he, you know what? He should have coached. If he would have done the cowboy thing and the right thing, he would have coached him until he died on the sideline.
I thought he was going to die on the sideline. It sure looked like. Or froze to death in one of those weather games up in Laramie. But...
before Dylan picks it, I'm taking Washington State to beat Boise State this week.
Yeah, I couldn't even get to say the game.
Washington State, 9 p.m. on the Smurf turf. Washington State wins at Boise State.
Man, I can't believe you did that. You stole my thunder.
Yep.
You stole my thunder.
Are you going to take them?
Yeah, I'm taking Washington.
You know what's funny? I mean, because Boise State really, with Genty, I mean, we'll see how Washington State handles
probably lose.
How they handle
They're probably
Genty.
going to lose.
I just think Boise State, obviously their defense isn't very good, and Washington State has showed they can put up some points. So I expect the shootout. I would be pretty surprised if Boise State, I'm seeing the spread here, 7.5. I'd be surprised if they beat them by more than a touchdown.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, Washington State's played really well, and Washington State also runs the ball extremely well, and that's Georgia Southern ran all over Boise that first game. So, I mean, Boise's whole defense is not good at all. I think Boise is off of a bye, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Or no, did they play Portland? I can't remember.
Yeah, but they are basically off of a bye because they played Portland State.
Yeah, they played Portland
didn't
State.
Play much. Yeah, man. Okay, whatever. I'll stick with it. I'll stick with my guns.
I'm taking Wazoo either way. I want them to win. I agree with you. Like, do they probably win? Probably not.
Yeah.
But I would love to see them 5-0. And also, like, I want to see like a Texas State team get to the playoff. I don't want to see Liberty, but I don't really want to see Boise State be the team that goes.
Yeah, I don't want to see Boise.
Yeah, and if they lose this game, they probably can't make it. I don't think 2 lost Boise's getting in.
No.
All right. Arizona, Utah.
Utah by 17.
Utah. I mean, again, we don't know if Cam Rising's playing, but assuming the other guy's the quarterback, I'm going to say Utah by, they probably cover 14. And then Oregon at UCLA are both taking Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep. Oregon by 1 million.
Oregon and Utah. All right,
coming off a bye.
Okay, before we close it out, I got to give my best bets of the week.
It's not gambling when you know you're going to win.
Get me paid, bitch.
I know. I wrote them down here. Sorry. Okay, let me go to. So last week I went 2-2. I won on, I believe, Michigan, and I won my total of the week on the under in Michigan State BC. Lost a really tough one on, we talked about Georgia Tech already, plus 10.5. Should have been a 3-1 week, but that's all right. We're 2-2. That brings me to, I believe, 6-3 on the year on the show.
That's
so
good.
Pretty good start. So we're going to go for our first best bet. We're going to take the Baylor Bears, and I'm going to use the ESPN bets number because I took a bad number here, not going to lie. 2.5. We're going to take the Baylor Bears minus the 2.5. They're at home. They're off a heartbreaking loss. Could they collapse and just give up on the season? Sure. But I think they like Dave Aranda. I don't think he's a good coach, but I think they like him. And I think Baylor's defense is better this year than people give it credit for. They actually, like, for the most part, did an okay job against a pretty good Colorado offense. I know the score doesn't show that, but if you take away the Hail Mary at the end of the game, they scored 24 points in regulation, right? So, like, it's not like they went up and down the field on Baylor. And I just think, we talked about it. Neither of us thought BYU was better than Kansas State last week, and they beat them by 30. It was Mormon Magic at night. And so, give me Baylor minus the 2.5 to bounce back. This is their season, right? You have to win this game to stay alive in the Big 12. And, I think Dave Aranda's coaching for his job. So, we're going to take Baylor here. Best bet number 2, I'm going to go, we're going to stick in the Big 12 here. We're going to go with Texas Tech. And I don't like laying numbers a bunch, but I see 3. I'm normally an underdog guy, but I see 3 here. Texas Tech against Cincinnati. I know you just said it. I agree. Cincinnati's better than we thought. I still don't think they're good.
Yeah.
And I think Texas Tech they're just a different team at home. They're a different team at home. And third straight home game. It's a comfortable spot. Cincinnati's going on the road. I like Tech in this spot minus the 3. If it gets to 2.5, that'd be great, but I'll take it with 3 too. Let's go best bet number 3. I want to take a dog, but I actually like the Indiana play better. Let's go with Indiana minus the 7. And you get it at a reduced juice actually of minus 105 right now. But I talked about Indiana a second ago. Really like the coaching staff. I bet on Indiana to beat UCLA at home. It was in the Rose Bowl a couple weeks ago. I think it was like 48-21. I know UCLA is really, really bad.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think Kurt Cignetti is a heck of a football coach. He wins everywhere he goes. And I think Maryland took a bigger step back than pretty much any other team in the Big Ten this year. Lost their quarterback, lost their top 2 receivers, lost their running back, lost 3 of their 5 offensive linemen, and lost 4 of their secondary pieces. It's just too much to replace, and they just have not looked good. I like Indiana laying a touchdown here at home. I'm gonna say they win it by 17. I think they're gonna walk all over them. And then we'll go last one. We're gonna go with the total of the week. And I already mentioned this one. We're going to go with Louisville and Notre Dame. It's at Notre Dame. We're going to go under 48. You just talked about how Riley Leonard cannot throw the ball very well. Not a very good quarterback. I watched Tyler Shuck last week. Same type of deal, right? There's going to be a hard-nosed defensive game. Lots of punts, pinning people deep. I think it's going to take like a defensive touchdown or like a couple of plays
to
like that.
Screw it up.
Yes, we're going to need a defensive touchdown or like a couple safeties or, some really short fields to get over this number. I don't see how these offenses without a defensive score moving the ball up and down the field enough in the course of the game. Not to mention both teams, especially if Notre Dame gets up early, I just think they're going to run the ball a shit ton and run the clock down. Like, I just think they're going to shorten this game. We've seen Notre Dame score a bunch of points on bad teams, but I think Louisville's defense is good enough to hold up enough. The line's 6.5. They're not like a huge dog here. I think it's probably somewhat close.
I'm sure it'll be a relatively close game. Yep.
So I'm going to take the under there, and that's going to be my 4 best bets of the week. We'll see if we can keep the 6-3 streak going and keep the positive money coming in. But that'll be my 3. I know you already gave your top dog of the week, and we talked about also taking South Alabama. You have any other things you want to add here?
No, I think that's about it. I mean, nothing else really flew off the page. So.
Okay.
And if the people at home want to make money, well, I'm not going to say fade Big Dog. You can't fade Big Dog. He's just a genius. But maybe sometimes his mind works at such high levels that you can take the other side. Like, sometimes.
Sometimes? Oh, more like sometimes. All the time.
No, please.
All the time.
He knows how to pick them.
Oh, I'm sure he does. We had to get him out
knows how
of
to
here.
pick quarterbacks, yeah.
I mean, talk about off the wall. Look, it's been a very positive vibe in here, but he went off the wall here talking. I don't know what he was talking about in here for about 30 minutes. We were completely off of football there, but Anyway, yeah.
He's a showman.
Yeah, that's a true statement. We got to get him out on the golf course again soon.
Yep.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to our Pick'em show, week 3. Make sure if you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. Comment below. Let us know your best bets of the week, who you like, what do you think of our picks. Tell us we suck. Doesn't matter. Comments are good. Likes are good. Views are better. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next week for week 5 of the college football slate and week 4 of the NFL. Or is that what we're in right now? I can't remember.
I think that's right.
All right. Have a good one.
Close
We'll
enough.
catch you guys next time.